Well, actually, at the My Network premiere, myself and Michelle did have a match, and I came out the victor, hitting her with the Glam Slam. It was a non-title exhibition match, however. So, should the opportunity arise for me to wrestle her again, obviously there's nothing more that I'd love to have. You know, I have two shoulders. I'd love to beat Michelle again and carry more gold.
You'll have to get another title then. It's up to you.
Obviously, and you know, I'm sure Michelle would be game for something like that. She's been a fighting champion, and you know, if she's down, I'm down. I'd love to take her title.
Thank you, Beth.
Hey, Randy, I heard that you're performing tonight on the SW show. What's it like for a guy like yourself, who's one of the youngest guys in WWE, to enjoy the type of success you've had? No chance to come out here and work with some of the young up-and-coming guys who are close to your own age and can really learn something from your success.
It's really cool to come down here, man, because, you know, like I said, when I was in this situation, you know, the facility wasn't like it was now, but of course, when guys would come down, like Big Show, Mark Henry, you know, thinking back to maybe a few guys, when they would come down, I'd get, you know, ask them, you know, those guys questions, you know, what's it like to do this, what's it like to wrestle in front of 80,000 people, you know, how's it travel, what, you know, it's almost like, you know, you annoy them a little bit, but then looking back, you know, that's awesome. You know, I can't wait for guys who approach me, ask me those questions, you know, whether it's about in-ring, out-of-ring, traveling, locker room etiquette, you know, I don't know if I'd be the best person to ask about locker room etiquette, but you know, I give them my best answer, you know. But yeah, like I said, you know, it's going to be cool to be around those guys, hear what they have to say, comments, feedback, you know, because they're all excited. They love this business. That's why they're here. And, you know, there's a lot of kids coming up, too, whose fathers wrestle. You know, Joe Hennig, you know, for example, you know, I met him backstage here, you know, half hour ago for the second time, and I'd love to, you know, BS with him and just hear what he's got to say. Because, you know, we have a lot in common with a lot of these young guys, these second, and now even third-generation wrestlers that are coming up. Whereas before, there was just, you know, a couple guys. You know, I was the only one that was around pretty much. You know, Carlito, you know, comes around. And now you got, you know, 10, 12, you got a dozen guys who grew up in the business. So I got a lot in common with these guys who did grow up in the business, and I've been around them a lot to talk about, you know, how it was growing up in the business. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Just to follow up on that, what does it mean to the WWE and how do you see it shaping on the roster? How do you see this influx of second and third generation guys who really grew up in the business and have that experience from when they were kids before they were even old enough to step in the ring?
Well, I think it shows that, I mean, it's not like a coincidence, you know, obviously something genetically happens there when your daddy was in the ring before you. You just kind of pick it up quicker and you're just good at it. You kind of got a little natural edge to you. I go back and I watch my dad, my grandpa, even my Uncle Barry, and
Barry-O.
Yeah, there you go, thank you. But you know, I don't mimic their movements, but a lot of times I'll see, you know, I'll throw a punch the same way my dad did, or the same way my grandpa did. I'm like, man, that's weird. You know, I watched all their tapes, but it's just you know, it's just in your DNA, man. So I think that, you know, that says a lot, the fact that all these guys are getting contracts, not because their dad wrestles, but because, you know, they're good and they want to get better, and they got that door open for them because, you know, it wasn't a family business. It's just, you know, it's second nature to these guys. It's second nature to me. I came down to Louisville and I was getting, you know, paid to learn how to wrestle with a bunch of guys that were paying to learn how to wrestle. And no one liked me. And they said, get in the ring, Randy, throw a drop kick. I think I drop kicked the guy's knees. It was horrible. They all looked at me like, this is Bob Orton's son. What the hell is going on? You know, pissed off a lot of guys. A year later, you know, I'm showing them how to do stuff. You know, you just pick up stuff quick, you know, when it's in your blood. So I see, you know, in the near future, you know, you look around, you can see a lot of second, third generations coming up and making names for themselves on our show.
This question's for Beth. On the Moolah meter, the Fabulous Moolah was the women's champ for 1,452 weeks, and you've been the women's champ for 11 weeks. What inspires you to carry the title for the extra 1,441 weeks and be the longest running women's champion ever?
Well, I didn't come from a wrestling family, but I did grow up a wrestling fan, huge wrestling fan, and it was something that was a part of my family. I grew up watching with my it was something that I always wanted to do, and it was just a passion that I had. And actually, on the independent scene, before I got involved with WWE, I had the fortune of meeting Fabulous Moolah and getting to work a couple shows with her. And I actually got to stay with her and Mae Young one night in a hotel room, which was an interesting story for another time. But it was a really, really cool night because I got to see how wonderful these two ladies are and how their love for the business never diminished over many, many decades. And it was so inspiring to me because I thought if I could ever be, half the woman that Fabulous Moolah is, I would be considered to be very lucky. So to hold this title that so many women who have come before me have worked so very hard to make important, established, and meaningful, not only in my company, but in the wrestling business is a huge honor for me. And to be put in that category is an even greater honor. So although the road is very long, much longer than Santino's, I'll do my best to uphold everything that this title stands for a long time.